Part 2 to what happens after your third eye is open. This is the bad things that can happen after your third eye is open. The negative effects. Now, part 1 I elaborated on a lot. I didn't expect it to get over 20,000 views. I really thank you guys for that. I appreciate it, because when I was sitting there doing that, I messed up the video by editing myself in the background faded like that by accident, and a lot of people actually appreciated me doing that, when really my green screen was so messed up I had to, or I would have had to have the background all shown through the whole video. So God pretty much looked out for me and was like, it made me fade it like that. I didn't know the reason why he made me do it, but apparently he looked out and it happened that way anyway. Now we get into part 2, the negative effects that happen after your third eye is open. Now, number 1, I'm gonna try to make this swift and quick and get to each point, because the part 1 I elaborated a little too much on each and every topic. So let me try to keep this swift and short for you guys. Number 1, people will think you're thrown off explaining this information to them. Let me tell you, I explain this information, like, when I don't get into these conversations on purpose anymore. Back in the day, I used to look forward to these conversations. I used to talk to Christians and Muslims and anybody of other religions, or some people spiritualists and conscious people. And I used to sit there and listening to conscious DVDs over and over and over and over. And it'd draw me to ask people who's in different religions, because I watched their religious DVDs because I was just conscious. And next thing you know, people will think you're thrown off when you talk about this information, because it's one of those things where it's like you're doing too much. So for instance, if I ask you what your do you believe certain aspects of your religion to the extent that you believe other parts of your religion? Do you rate one rule higher than the other, whatever the case may be? And like, I ask them a question like that, and then they ask me what I believe, and then I go into what I believe, and then I tell them that I believe it all happened, and I believe that Muhammad and Jesus and everybody from in the past of Horus, and not that all these stories was plagiarized, but I believe that it all happened or all could have happened. And then I start explaining certain parts of the stories inside these stories. They be looking at me like, oh, okay, right. Like, you all right, we're gonna leave you alone. Like, some people just, they not into that, they're not for it. They see it as, you gotta stick to one thing, like, you can't dibble and dabble, you know what I'm saying? And that goes into number 2. Number 2, this type of information, when your third eye become open, sorry to tell you this, but I'm glad I get to warn some people to leave that stuff alone, because it's not for everybody. You wind up changing religions.
What am I supposed to say when an atheist sneezes? When you die, nothing happens.
You'll wind up dibbling dabbling in every one book, because you looking for the truth. You want the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Like, you don't want no other man's rendition of it. You don't want to have to go to church and listen to that person, then go to the church down the block, listen to that person, then go to the mosque and listen to that person. You reading it for yourself. You want to read everybody book for yourself, and you want to know which one is the truth, and you will pick which one you believe fits the description of how you feel, because you feel that you already know the truth. You're searching through the books to see which one fits the description that you actually are experiencing. Now, number 3, the unexplained deaths scare the hell out of you.
There's a conspiracy, a C-O-N conspiracy.
When your third eye is open, you start seeing how conscious you really are, and how different you really are, and you are becoming, because your appetites change, and a lot of different things change about you. And you start to realize, as you're looking at the world, like, there's a lot of unexplained deaths. And when you learn this, you learn different breathing techniques and stuff. And when you go through them pains, and like, when you don't meditate for a long time, there's negative effects like pains. It can be a pain in your chest, or a crazy headache, or a pain in your leg. Like, it don't matter, or a pain in your ass. Like, seriously, when you meditate and when you do them breathing techniques and you open your chakra systems up and stuff, you have to have maintenance. You have to make sure that you take care of yourself, like drinking water and eating healthy and things of that nature that tends to those chakra systems, or you wind up walking around in pains and different things like that. And you wind up looking at different people who you wind up looking at mysterious deaths and mysterious things that happen to different people that people can't explain, and you start to worry, like, wait a minute, am I in a realm where this type of thing can happen to me? You know what I'm saying? So you become a little bit aware of, like, you become a little cautious. You become definitely more self-conscious and self-cautious of how you live your life and the things that this third eye being open come with. Number four, you begin to become scared to take medicine. I had a toothache while I was all breathing. Like, it comes with certain breathing techniques. Like, when you clear your mind, your body opens up, and next thing you know, you're like, your breathing is just like amazing. But the thing is that you're not immune to pain, and you wind up getting a toothache or something. Or what if you throw your back out or something like that? Next thing you know, you go out and you get a Tylenol, but you're scared to take the Tylenol because you don't know if it's going to affect you in a negative way, because your mind is already open on a conscious level, and you're aware that you're breathing different, and your chest is opened up, and your stomach is opened up, and your dantian is opened up to like more in a more conscious level. So you taking Tylenol or something might affect the way your body is functioning on that level of consciousness. So that's pretty scary as well. Number 5, you realize everything triggers thought, and everything is an appetite. You can have an appetite, or you could be addicted to just walking a certain way to work every day, going to the same store every day, and never doing something different. Like, little things matter there, because once you see that you're addicted to something, you start to change it automatically. You be like, wait, I'm doing that way too much. Or I'm doing that maybe I need to structure that in my life. I'm beginning to do that way too much. And you begin to structure a lot of things in your life a little different. But when you're doing the same thing over and over, you always want to change up and do something new, because it's always looking for a new experience. The consciousness is always looking for a new experience for you to experience. Like, go this way to work, or try that store, or try something new. Always. It's pretty amazing, but it's pretty scary too. Not only that though, you do begin to play with the addictions. You be like, all right, I smoke like a cigarette a day. Let me cut that down to like a cigarette every other day. Like, you begin to play with your addictions, because since you have so much patience, you don't feel that you need something right now. You enjoy it. Like, if you have one cigarette, like some people, they smoke like 30 cigarettes a day. But me, when I did smoke cigarettes, I quit cigarettes, which you can see that video in my past video. I made a video on it. But when you quit cigarettes, you wind up but when I did smoke cigarettes, I smoked like one a day, and I started tweaking it. Like, all right, I'm a not smoke tomorrow. Or I'm a not smoke when I'm at work, or like when I'm not at work, I'm just going to not, like, I used to be like, no, because I wanted to get away from it and ease myself off of it. You know what I'm saying? To the extent where I'm not even thinking of it no more. So that's another thing. Number 6. You realize that your thoughts are the devil. Like, every thought that you think wound up triggering some type of appetite or some type of movement or some type of emotion, and you realize that everything is connected and you can't get away from it. So what you do is you start to meditate to be able to dissolve them thoughts and get your emotions away from, to stop being attached to your thoughts, because your thoughts start to tempt you. The devil is the tempter in the Bible. The devil is the tempter everywhere you go, because your thoughts are like the devil, because they tempt you every time you think of a thought. If I tell you big booty chick right now, and then you'll be like, big booty chick, and you'll wind up going to X videos or some shit and click off my video. Is that real? Because you can play spells on people. That's another thing. I'm coming out with a video on that. You can play spells on people with your words, because your words doesn't have to be no satanic book that you're reading. You could place a spell on somebody by just telling them, just moving them with your words. You know what I'm saying? That's another way people over exaggerate or over fabricate certain terminologies from the past, and think that you gotta have some witchcraft involved. But no, it can be as simple as that. When you're in that state of mind, you realize how simple that we've been manipulated this whole time. Number 7, explaining it can make you sound crazy. Yes, explaining this can make you sound very crazy. If I tell you, all right, this is what you do. Go to a dark room, right? Turn off all the lights, stick some tissue in your ear and make sure it's super quiet, right? And then you sit there in deep silence for hours and hours and hours until you see this little cross go up your up here, and then that little squiggly stuff around your face, like when when you close your eyes and there's all these little lights going around, until that evaporates and turns into one solid light, and then it solidifies itself right here and rise up and it be like a cross. If I sit there and tell people that, I sound crazy. That's why you don't tell people that. That's why this is a secret. That's why this is mostly secret information, and you're supposed to be able to keep a secret and do certain things in organizations. This is the shit that they talking about. You know why? It's to protect you, not to protect the people around you. You telling them 9 times out of 10 you're not going to meditate after I tell you this information. And not only that, this is the warnings like, and the things that this come with in the negative way, this video. And if you watch part 1, it was kind of negative too, you know what I'm saying, because this comes with a lot of burdens. But anyway, yeah, man, this information is like, it's crazy when you explain it to other people. You sound wild. Well, don't worry, I'm not walking around telling people this. This is my experience, by the way. My experience. I'll let y'all know. Don't be trying to get me into no. Matter of fact, we going into number 8. Number 8, you can get in trouble if you tell somebody some information, they wind up getting hurt, or they wind up going out there and doing something crazy, because you don't know if people is on medications and things of that nature. You don't know if people is going through something and they sit there and meditate, come out and kill everybody in the house. You don't know. So don't be going out telling, like, when people tell people, yeah, just meditate and be cool. You don't know what these people is going through. They might literally have the first premeditated murder on the planet, like the real version of that. Like, I don't walk around telling people this information. I learned this information. I get to tell my experience. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Other people, I'm reaching out to the people who experience the same thing I experienced, so I know I wasn't crazy. I got 20,000 views, over 400 likes my last video, which lets me know, oh, guess what? It's not just me. You know what I'm saying? Plus, there's other videos on YouTube explaining this stuff as well. They just don't keep it as real as me. Now, we're going to go into number 9. But yeah, number 8, your ass can't get in trouble. Don't be walking around telling people some techniques and you ain't solidified. You didn't go to school for this and you don't got the credentials. Do not. I'm not telling you guys go out and meditate or nothing. I'm just letting you know my experience and hoping that other people experience the same thing, so I know that I'm not the only one. You know what I'm saying? And there is something going on, and this stuff is a secret. I don't care what you tell me. They've been hiding this stuff from y'all, because the stuff that I experienced and walking around, it was a whole nother world inside this world. I don't know if y'all understand what I'm trying to explain to you guys or not, but this Illuminati stuff and all that, this has to have something to do with it. I don't care what you say. And if I need to keep this a secret, I will, because I do not need no problems. But anyway, I believe we on number 9. And if we isn't on number 9, it is what it is. But number 9, you can't sleep. There is no, you really need to come up with a mechanism for sleep. Because sleep, when you do sleep, your dreams be vivid. That is true. And you do have like, it do be like you're in some type of heavenly state. That is true. But, yeah, sleep hardly exists. I can't remember. Like, you don't even care about sleep. You'll be up working on projects and working on. This is a type of thing that you need to do if you're in school, like college. Oh, God, I just said I wasn't promoting it. Well, this is the type of thing that I would do if I was in college or something and I had to, like, do a lot of work. You know what I mean? I had to stay up studying, or YouTube, or just projects in general, like jobs that you got to do a lot of staying up late and stuff. Oh yeah, meditation is for you, for me. If I wanted to do a job like that, I'm telling you, at least I got something that's like, I know deep inside of me, I could tap inside of myself and bring out if need be. Like, I could do any job. Like, you do feel invincible. Number 10, you feel invincible. You feel like you can fight anybody, which is bad. You wind up getting your ass whipped. Don't. Like, it's not going to turn out good. I remember I was at my old job and I had to check myself because dude would look like Tookie Williams, and I'm sitting up there and he was like talking to me like I wasn't ish, and this was years ago, like 7 years ago, when I worked at my old job, and I'm putting the food on the plate, you know what I'm saying, and he up there like, yeah, more, put some more on there. I'm sitting up there looking at him like, excuse me, brother, That's all you get. That's all that's in this platter. That's all that actually, it came with 2 scoops. I gave you 3. I gave you a little too much. He was like, you telling me you can't put a little bit more on the plate? I was like, no. And I was like, matter of fact, there you go. I gotta get to the next person. Matter of fact, next. And I turned to the next person. And he looked at me. He was about to throw it in my face. And I'm like, look, you know what I mean? You humble and you explain yourself a lot better in that state of mind. But you got to realize there's a time and a place. In work, make sure you separate that stuff from work, because it can, you wind up, even if you could beat the guy up or whatever, it's the thing is, you can easily get into some shit because your temper and you're clear-minded. So the thing that happened to you in front of you, you're ready to handle it immediately. You gotta you got a say in for everything. Now we're gonna go into number 11. Mixing this with your religion can be dangerous. When you mix it with, I know that I tell you that my experience is I started out with the Bible. But the thing is, what happened is I was a humble Christian brother. You know what I'm saying? Then Jesus, his words wound up opening my mind. And then I sat there and I had I started meditating daily. And next thing you know, my mind opened and then his words became flesh. And then I'm starting to walk around like, yo, this is true. Like Jesus, he's the one who's on point. He's what Christ means. Christ means anointed. Well, what am I? Anointed right now. Oh, I get it. I feel his words. And then I started walking around. Well, since he pretty much opened my mind to this information, since I tell you guys his words was help me to reach, when you get to this door, there's a door of fear in meditation, where you get to this door after all this stuff is going on and you hearing the ocean sounds and everything. When you're getting to the third eye finally becoming open or whatever, and the kundalini energy rise up the spine, there's a door, and he was the what helped me get through that door. It was like, you know what? If something bad do happen, at least I got this far and I felt something paranormal or just crazy. Like for once in my life, I felt something that was spiritual and that I experienced when I got to that door. Just the door alone was good enough for me. But when I realized, you know what? I believe in Christ though. And I believe that, you know what I'm saying? He died for my sins, and I hope that if I open this door, it ain't nothing crazy or spooky or whatever. Like, cause it's it's just the emotion of everything scary is there in front of your face. And finally, I stayed there, and I didn't snap out the meditation. I stayed still enough to the extent where the door turned into the light. You know that don't go into the light. Well, to find out the light, you could experience even while you're alive. Well, I experienced, my bad, you guys. I experienced while I was alive. And that light opened up my mind. Boom. You know what I'm saying? So I try to say, don't mix this with your religion, because some people can be in another religion, and when they go on to read in the Bible, they scared to read the Bible. So when they do read, when they tap into the side of themselves without the Bible, they read the Bible, they realize, wait a minute, Christ, he was on point with this information. You know what I'm saying? In the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus Christ, best book on the planet, hands down. No religion book can top the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus Christ. Great book. But things like that, like, you know what I'm saying? I try to say, don't mix it with your religion, because if you don't dibble and dabble, you won't see the truth. Who am I to say? You could read the Quran and be like, yo, Muhammad spoke the truth. Muhammad explained this the best way, the discipline and everything that I understand that. I'll be like, well, you know what I mean? Without dibbling and dabbling in other books, because of this information, I wouldn't have been able to pinpoint who I thought spoke the truth about all of it. You know what I'm saying? And who experienced this like me. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt just like Christ. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I'm Christ. I'm not the Tupac of YouTube and nothing like that. I'm not on no Fousey Tube-ish. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I felt how Christ felt. I felt anointed or baptized and all that. And I got baptized and everything. Used to go to church on my own, all that. I'm not just conscious and black power. This is silence is God. I mean that. I mean that, because that's where I found them. But anyway, number 11 or 12, people stop hanging with you.
Hey, you better find yourself someplace to hide and keep praying nobody ever finds you.
Try these on.
People do not like this information at all, especially people you grew up with. They be like, like you the one who ran butt naked in the street when you were 6 years old away from your mom when you stole. So like the things that people who grew up with you and things like that, they just, it's not that they don't respect it. It's just like, it's ice on some bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like they look at me and they be like, yeah, we hear what you saying, but it's like, nigga, you know this sounds kind of throwed off. And I understand that, which is why I try to leave them alone with this stuff. But the thing is, I wound up being alone in the end, and I wound up really leaving people alone because not that they don't understand it, but it's just that I understand why they can't see me and respect me, because it's like Jesus. He said that, I'm not comparing myself to Jesus, but I'm just saying, he said, if you want to compare yourself to somebody, it should be Jesus. But anyway, he said that no prophet will be respected in their own land. Number 12 and number 13, you realize this information is bad in the wrong hands. Like, for if this information, if number one, it has to be some type of secret information. Like this, there's no way. This is the cultic of all cults information. Like, this is what people be writing books upon and then getting people to follow them. Like, this is that type of information. This is that realm. So anyway, but I just understand that where all this information, like all the cults get their information from. Like, these people, like lunatics, and these people become psychopaths and they become big-headed. Like, all of Egypt got, like, that's what happened to Egypt. They got big-headed and all that, and people started to take over and conquer the land and all this stuff. According to the Bible, Egypt got big-headed. My bad. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? That's where all the knowledge come from. That's where all the gold come from. That's where all the like that's where all the spiritual influences, spiritual information come from. That's where a lot. So it all I do believe that it started in Egypt. Don't get me wrong, but I believe that the information can turn you big-headed. You realize that this information is bad in the wrong hands. If somebody knew this information and didn't give a damn about the Bible, they can read the Bible without even caring about it, because that's the type of patience it gives you. You know, it's a scary type of patience where you can read any book without any type of negative like feeling. You're just looking for positivity. You could be reading the wrong book, you know what I mean? And you could be like, you know what? I'm gonna manipulate people into following this book, and you start creating cults, and you start creating, like, that's why some people, they know how they begin to manipulate regular people around them who's not even interested in this information. They look for them people and they try to manipulate them, and to wind up getting money out of these people, or gypping these people, or have these people drinking a bunch of Kool-Aid, or starting a cult, and you know what I mean, and a whole community of people who think just like him, and start creating his own rules, or whatever the case may be. But we see this happen all the time, because this information could turn you big-headed. It could turn you into one of those power hungry, money hungry, gold hungry motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry to tell you this, I'm not that type of person. You know what I mean? I'm humble. You know, I'm genuine. I keep it real with you guys, and you can tell just from me explaining it to you. Look, I got a wife, I got a kid, I got a life, I got a job. You know what I mean? Just like you guys, I'm not rich. I try to explain this information to you guys because I've been through it, and a lot of other people been through it, and we just letting you know, if you going through it, there's people out there who've been through it, and we're not a part of no organization. So there you go. And I'm not sure if it's secret or not, but I know damn well, like, from these experiences, from part 1 and part 2 that I'm explaining right now, man, it gotta be something. Somebody know this information that's big, you know, other than Russell Simmons and Oprah. I'm telling you, and they've been using it, and they've been using it against us or for us. But anyway, we're gonna go into number 13 or 14, and we're gonna end it off. Now, number 14 or 13, you have that enemy closer type of patience. That this patience is like, for instance, let me explain before y'all think I'm crazy, or y'all think I'm about to go out and do something crazy and I'm using this video as an excuse. Hell to no. I'm conscious of everything y'all could be thinking too, because when I watch these videos, I'll be cracking up like, oh, boy, crazy. And then I'll be like, wait, this sound like me a little bit. Oh, snap. So anyway, I'm still a regular guy. I keep this information to myself most of the time. But YouTube, you get a little commentary for a little commentary. So you can't blame a brother. And I experience it. I go through this every day. I know what I experience. I know that I'm not lying to you guys. So since I know about this stuff, I enjoy it without the money and without all of that. Like, I can enjoy this by I know I could tap into myself and find God. You know how crazy that information is, and to know that it would happen to me, and I could do this regardless of what. Like, what? Like, I'm giving it to you just for free. Like, it's a view. You know what I mean? Just explaining it to you guys is fun for me. You know what I mean? Talking to you guys in the comments and reaching out. Like, that is decent. I'm talking to people in China. In China. Who would have thought? God told me this information to be talking to people all the way in China who know English. Like, anyway. But the type of patience it give you. I can wait. For instance, all right. You go to the hospital because you got you see that your enemy got a crazy cough and he smokes cigarettes a lot. You dig what I'm saying? But he's your enemy. He been screwing you over. You know that he probably owe you like $1 million, but you know he got this crazy cough. Well, you wound up waiting it out because you like, wait a minute, he had this cough for like 3 weeks straight. He might be gone soon. You got the patience to wait it out. That's the type of patience. It's like, I'm gonna let you off yourself. Like, here, you want another pack of cigarettes? Here, you want another pack? It give you that type of crazy type of thinking. So you gotta check yourself. You know what I mean? Make sure you don't be thinking like that. Make sure you don't be, you know what I mean, plotting the scheme, and then just keep it real with a person. Be like, I don't like the way you've been treating me, and you owe me some money. I'd rather do that than wait for you to die or kill yourself. You over there, and I'm sitting over there like, I'm conscious. It don't work like that. You know what I mean? That's messed up. But there is negative things that happen. The pains for keeping up with the chakra systems. That's the main thing that definitely you don't want to go through. You know what I mean? And the smoking cigarettes and stuff like that. You're going to have to. It tweaks you to stop. And if you don't stop, you're going to go through pains. Like, it makes you be a better person. Period. That realm is for positive people, and negative people, some of them live there, but they don't last long because karma happened like that. It's the biggest secret on the planet, believe it or not. But the third eye becoming open, this video is like 33 minutes. Oh snap, I got a lot of editing to do. I hope I could get away with just like putting some clouds in the background or something. That's a lot of editing. But anyway, like I said, part 2. This is part 2. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm definitely going to do a series elaborating on this even more, and I'm going to do my own web series. Like I say, every time I say something in the past, it wind up happening in the future. So believe me, when I say something, it's going to wind up happening. I'm wind up doing a whole web series on this. It's going to be called like the higher self versus the lower self, where I'm going to, work this into my little entertainment news segments. You know what I mean? Have a little guy here, a little guy here, doing something crazy. Don't take my idea. And you heard it here first. But anyway, it's your boy SIG, Silence Guy, entertainment, news, media, and knowledge. I'm up out of here. Just experience, just explaining my experience, my third eye open experience to you guys. Hope you have a blessed day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yes, I am a Christian. Sorry, but I'm out. Peace. Christ mean anointed, so it is what it is. I feel that he the best representation of this consciousness and explained it the best way. You can hate me if you want, but anyway, silence is God. I'm up out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day, fam. Peace.